Hey guys, how you doing? You're watching What the Flick on the CineFile channel, hanging out with me, Jacob. We're going to be talking about some movie soundtracks today. We're going to break down 4 movies with great soundtracks that don't only work in the movie, but you can listen to these soundtracks outside of the movies, which is really important to me when I'm looking at movie soundtracks. Movie number 1, we're talking Inside Llewyn Davis. This movie is a little underrated and kind of under the radar. It's by the Coen brothers. It's got a good deep cast and it's got a great soundtrack, and this is why. So the soundtrack to this movie is predominantly folk music. This whole movie is about folk music. It has Marcus Mumford helped arrange most of this soundtrack. Oscar Isaac has an amazing voice on this soundtrack. He was actually classically trained at Juilliard, and there's a great Bob Dylan song on this soundtrack as well. If you had to listen to 4 songs from this soundtrack, I would pick Hang Me Oh Hang Me with Oscar Isaac singing it, Dink's Song with Marcus Mumford and Oscar Isaac, Farewell by Bob Dylan, and Green Green Rocky Road by Dave Van Rook. Those songs you could listen to when you're sad. Great sad songs, good folk music, good guitar work, just easy listening songs. Definitely check this soundtrack out. That's Inside Llewyn Davis. Movie number 2, personal favorite of mine. I'm sure I'll be talking about this movie all the time on this channel. We're talking about 500 Days of Summer. I'm not going to go into how great the movie is. Instead, I'm going to go into how great the soundtrack is, because this soundtrack is deep with just great music. It's real poppy. It's a fun soundtrack. It's a great soundtrack to put on a sunny walk in the park, just a clean in the house kind of day. It's a great soundtrack for that. It's got Hall & Oates on it, the Smiths, the Pixies, Simon and Garfunkel pop up on this one. It's a great soundtrack with deep, good talent. Definitely give this soundtrack a listen, guys. Movie number 3. It's the mother of all soundtracks, isn't it? It's The Graduate. The soundtrack was done entirely by Simon and Garfunkel. It's got The Sound of Silence on it, Mrs. Robinson on it, but the big sleeper hit on this soundtrack, April She Will Come. That song is beautiful. I'm sure you've heard Mrs. Robinson, and I'm sure you've heard Sound of Silence. But when you're listening to those next time, make sure you listen to April She Will Come, because that song is an amazing, amazing song. The last soundtrack we'll be talking about today is from, of course, Django. Now, Tarantino is so well known for having great soundtracks, but this soundtrack is amazing. It's got Jim Croce, Rick Ross, James Brown, John Legend, and Tupac. The big takeaway from this soundtrack, though, is obviously the Rick Ross 100 Black Coffins and the Unchained / Payback mashup between Tupac and James Brown. Those are great Jim songs, guys. This soundtrack you can take anywhere. This soundtrack is great. Check this soundtrack out. So guys, those are 4 movies with great soundtracks. I'm going to drop a Spotify link in the bio with a whole playlist mashed up of these 4 movies. Check that out. Make sure you subscribe for cool content coming all the time. You never know what you're going to get with CineFile, but I can tell you what you are going to for sure get, and that's Pop or Flop. And that's coming with Ready Player One. Coming out in a couple weeks. It's going to be a pop giveaway / movie review. Let's get some more subscribers in there so some more people can win some pops. Comment what your favorite song is from these movies. Comment what your favorite movie soundtrack is. Let us know how we're doing, and stay tuned, guys. Thanks.